So here is the entrance to the Royal Mint, which is where the coins were minted 100, 200 years ago. This is now going to be the entrance to the embassy for when the dignitaries come out. And round here is where the embassy is going to be. And that building, it's a listed building, it's a Johnson Smirk building. It's not in a great state on the inside.
Yeah, it looks a little bit dilapidated, especially this gate.
On the outside, well, they haven't done anything to that for ages, but essentially the outside is listed. The inside, I've been in a couple of times, and it is a bit run down.
Not recently, though.
We went in there when they first bought the place with the idea of talking to them, showing them respect. We turned up on their first time, gave them a box which contained minted coins, and we asked them to give it to the ambassador. It was part of our respect to say we're on your land, and we'd like to talk about what your plans are. And they were okay about it, but very quickly it became a situation whereby we're sitting there talking and suddenly cameras are being taken up and put in our faces. And it set the wrong tone. Yeah. So we've had, I think 3 other meetings with them. The best we got out of it was they offered that when they move in, we'll have Tai Chi lessons. So that's what we got for them moving in. Because they bought the whole of the land, including where we live, they're our landlords, so they have the landlord's rights to come in. As the landlord, they're also responsible for keeping an eye on our property. When you come onto the car park into our car park area, which runs along the entrance to the embassy, you'll see how close we are, and you see why we're so concerned about privacy.
Are there actually embassy staff in the building?
They occasionally use it for exhibitions, and sometimes it's an overspill. There are sometimes people in there, but today doesn't like it.
Let's have a quick look at it.
Yeah.
So they have a little security gate.
There's normally a guy just over around the corner there.
Yeah. Okay.
When you press the buzzer that's on that door, he'll come out and
Can I press the buzzer?
If you want to run, how fast do you run?
This is very secure up here.
They made it secure. It wasn't like that until they moved in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When this was empty, before they bought it, it actually was taken over by some people, rough sleepers.
Okay.
So that was what that was like.
So they've added this barbed wire.
I've got photos, I think, from about 10 years ago where that wasn't there. You could get a really decent view of that building. So obviously they don't want people in there.
Yeah.
The other key thing to this is going to be, if they get an application, this is going to get closed off.
So there'll be no underpass?
There'll be no underpass. So this is what the plan was. To make this whole complex public realm with shops and cafes and offices. And the local people were consulted. People on the capital stock were consulted. People on the other side of the street consulted fully. We all agreed with that this is what we want, and it was approved by the council. As far as we were concerned, that was going ahead. It was only in May 2018 when suddenly that's not going ahead because it's been bought by people from China.
So this looks like a nice little development.
Yeah. And in reality, when I first moved in here 26 years ago, it was public realm. We could go, there was a gym in one corner, you could go across from our estate across there to get to the station. They built up this picture of the area as being underdeveloped and run down, needs investment. This is what they've allowed to happen to build that narrative.
Right.
All this scaffold, all this graffiti, here, that's all been allowed to create a situation.
To show that it's a little bit run down and they want to gentrify it.
Yeah.
Okay, and just quick question, is this part of the embassy then, this building here?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
The land, I think the kind of the land runs to about here.
Right, okay, so this will be part of the embassy as well?
Part of it's going to be the Heritage Interpretation Centre they talk about.
Yeah.
And there's going to be another office for passports and stuff, so there's going to be some of it's going to be looked down slightly, but there's going to be made an area to go and look at the Cistercian remains, which is behind there, which is where all this issue about hard borders and allowing people in are coming from. This building here is going to be converted into the accommodation for the embassy staff.
This is where they'll be living?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
like
really?
this bit here.
Yeah. So this building right here.
Yeah, and also it runs further.
Yeah.
So when we get to the other side of that, you can see how far it actually runs.
So how many? Do you know roughly how many embassy staff they're planning on?
They're having
getting
200 flats for multi-generational families to be here, and 30 further flats for when diplomats and various people come to visit the embassy.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
so have they allowed all of these weeds just to grow here as well then, just to give it the impression that it's a bit dilapidated?
It has become a point where become a bit of a drug den up there, and it's also become an area where homeless people sleep. And
can they actually get? Oh yeah, you can just climb over, I guess.
Here actually.
There's some actual steps.
All they put in the way to stop it is that little.
Oh yeah, that's really going to stop people, isn't it? Let me just go and have a quick look at that.
Hold your breath.
Wow, so I can't believe this is part of the embassy. I had no idea about this. Wow.
This slip road is where all the service vehicles and where the embassy staff will come through to go and park there to do their deliveries, and then because there is an exit at the other end, but it's only cars to get out, any service vehicle has to come back out this way. This section here is going to be the final stretch where they do the final security checks before anybody can get into the embassy, their service vehicles and stuff.
Yeah.
There's going to be bollards here, those that retract down. Mm-hmm. So the idea is, as soon as the vehicle comes up, go down, in they go, get checked. Now, if something happens, let's say in the worst case scenario, they've got a bomb on there, that check's going to happen. That flat is a goner. That flat's a goner.
That's a bit of a concern for whoever lives in that side of the building. And that's you, is it?
Yeah. That's
right.
So at the very worst, and when you look at things like the Manchester Arena attack, you're there thinking, well, they didn't take it seriously at the time. They weren't allowed to, and they've got this stuff going along. They need to listen to what we're saying to them, but they don't want to, because as they told us at a meeting one time, why people aren't going to do that. We're a friendly nation. That's what they said to us. And we said, well, you know that. There's going to be no demonstrations. We don't have demonstrations.
They've got a lot more enemies than friends, I'll tell you that. Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Okay. There's going to walk up and go into the car park at the south end.
Yeah.
And then you walk through and you'll see how close we actually are. So when you come through here, that's the staff living quarters, that's Embassy House.
Wow.
It was Barclays.
Yeah.
When it was Barclays, the concern about security was about being privacy and overseen isn't the same, because it's a trading floor. They're monitoring there with computers all the time. Those windows are like that. They're working certain hours. But the plan is that those windows are going to be pushed back. Okay, they're going to take out these kind of poles that run up. They're going to create balconies for their staff. So the balconies will be able to sit outside there.
Yeah, and
they'll be looking directly at that.
Yeah, they'll be looking right in your window.
Now, as I said, the architect said that's within the normal permitted area, but it must be a different factor when it's an embassy rather than when it's an office. They'll be monitoring movements in the car park. They'll be monitoring their people in the flats. They'll be moving which cars come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have CCTV. They know what CCTV is like. We've already got CCTV up there at the moment.
Oh yeah, right there. Just right there.
And down there. And there'll be even more. And the interesting thing was, at the inquiry, when the council asked the Chinese KC about where the cameras were going to be, they refused to answer on the basis it's a security issue, and therefore it's not for Tower Hamlets to know about. It's for them to do. Even if they put their plans in and gave the Tower Hamlets the details, when it becomes an embassy land, they can change it any time they want, because there's nothing to stop them under the Vienna Convention doing what they want on that bit of land.
Yep.
And that is the concern.
Territory.
They've got no. Yeah, they can say something now, but it won't be necessarily taken on.
Here it is here, and bam, it's just right here.
And even closer, is my flat. Even closer to my flat. My flat is in that block.
So you're in this block here.
Yeah. So essentially, I'm on the bottom floor.
Yeah.
And I've measured it, and it's 8.5 meters from my side window to the wooden fence that is supposed to divide us.
How does it feel to be living this close to China? I never thought you'd be saying that, did you?
Well, I actually said at one point that I moved here 26 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
Because I was going to be near the office. My office at the time was on the other side of London Bridge, Tower Bridge. So what a great way, we'll go to work, walk across Tower Bridge, be at work. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's amazing, yeah.
The problem is now I'm actually closer to Beijing because they are there.
Yeah, they're literally right here.
That's my side.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah. Look how close it is.
Yeah. And then this is at the moment just before we cut back all the trees and stuff. So because obviously they get pruned in October, so there'll be even more visual at this point.
See them. You could literally see them making corrupt deals in there, right?
One of the things that happened at the inquiry was there was discussion about the building conditions that were going to happen for this if it gets the go-ahead. The council wanted it done to British standards, but the Chinese applicants wanted it done as Chinese standards. And it went back and forth for a good 20-25 before they decided it would be discussed outside the inquiry. What we do know now is it's going to be done to Chinese standards because there's no way they're going to allow the British to get involved with it. All the workers are going to be brought in from China and be housed there when the work's going on. And they reckon it'll be 3 to 4 years before it actually gets finalised and ready to go.
You'll be living opposite a construction site. There's something known as a tofu dreg, which it's a tofu building. Basically, they say their buildings are made out of tofu because they just crumble down. So this could potentially be a tofu dreg if it's being constructed by Chinese standards.
Yeah, well, I think the actual, because they're not actually taking it down, just kind of redesign it, it'll probably be still quite solid from its original frame. But whatever happens in terms of the Chinese standards inside the building is a different matter.
Guys, look, forbidden territory. Nice. It's quite easy to climb over.
So that's where our cat ended up down there.
Oh yeah, your cat ended up down there, right?
Yeah, and it was almost like a major incident just trying to get her back.
Yeah, you had a bit of a confrontation with the...
Yeah, well, she was down there and you couldn't see, you see it's quite a drop.
Yeah,
couldn't see how she'd get back out again, so we went on the front. There were 4 gardeners there, all spoke Mandarin. We didn't speak that, so we tried Google Translate. That didn't go anywhere. I've tried to push her way in, they wouldn't let her in. I went and got one of them to come out and I showed her over the fence and the cat was there. You could see what we went about. I got the cat box, went back and then they wouldn't let us in, even though they knew what we were going for. The guy said, I'll go and do it. And whilst we wait for him to come back, somebody else came slightly higher up in the embassy, spoke English, and then he allowed us to go through as long as we were, kind of walked around and not going through. But obviously the cat, once he'd been frightened off by the person going in the first place, disappeared.
Yeah.
We never actually found it on that day, but cats being cats, she turned up at dinner time.
Oh.
But yeah, it was quite a time because my other half was getting really frustrated and annoyed and frightened that things happened to the cats, especially with the boxes down there. We were trying to just get in, just to go and find out. They knew we had a cat box and we knew what it was about.
You'd better check that cat, because they might have put a spy camera on it or something. Okay. maybe you could put a spy camera on that and we could send it in there.
Yeah, I don't want to say that there because if you put up there and they see a cat now, cat's gone.
Yeah, good point. And cats don't really have such a great time in China anyway. No. So yeah. So
this is the Royal Mint Green. It's an area that was a little space for people, kids and for dogs and people to relax. It was until recently just a flat bit of ground, but recently they put in a gym and they put in a children's play area. And the reason they've done that is because the council have said they want to stop demonstrations from happening here. They want to stop people setting up encampments here because the building that way is where embassy staff will be going in, so it'll be a perfect place to kind of protest and cause issues.
Yeah.
architects and the planners for the Chinese says it doesn't happen. They never have demonstrations outside the back of an embassy. The thing is, this is not the back of an embassy. The embassy may be at the front. Embassy staff are here. This is where they're going into their living quarters. That's the entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there will be demonstrations here. They're going to be putting bollards here.
Like the ones that sort of retract up and down.
To stop hostile vehicle issues. Okay, so it'll be here.
Yeah.
But then if there's any issues with that, who are the people who are going to get it? There and there. They're protecting their staff.
Yeah.
But they're not protecting, they're just creating more of a problem for
no protection for, like, there's literally a nursery right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The hairdresser that side, nursery that side, nursery there. And,
wow.
and it's also, I think there's going to be a school in about a month's time.
It's not that high a drop, really, you know. Look at that. You seem to be the most vocal of the residents about this. You know, I've seen you at various protests, giving a speech and that kind of thing. What about the other? I did see another lady.
She lives on the other side of the estate, but she's not well now.
Yeah.
So basically, what's happened is, and her chairman for a resident association has also been taken. He's actually had a heart attack.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, maybe the pressure of it, but whatever the case is, they've had to kind of step aside.
Yeah.
So where we were doing the leading, it's now come down to this association to do it.
One of the big concerns about this mega embassy is that it's directly above some sensitive cables that lead into the heart of London, into the financial district. There's BT is here, which is right here, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, here it is. Sorry, let's just let her go past.
So that's the entrance, and there's also here, but the doors are closed at the moment.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit disappointing. But yeah, this is where it is.
So the cables are under there.
Yeah.
Apparently, I've never been in there, but the other side of this building is either a very low wall and windows, which is easy to access if you are on the Chinese land and such.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah. So basically, at this moment in time, we have a GoFundMe page set up, save us from the mega embassy. We have money built up on there. We're waiting for a quote from various barristers to see how much it will cost for us to follow it through. We will then put that figure up on the crowdfunder, and once the decision is made by the Secretary of State about the embassy, if it turns out they're going to go ahead with it, we will dive straight in and we will take it forward to a judicial review, because we have had this letter, this legal opinion given to us by a senior KC that it is unlawful, the plans that they've got in place. And that's what we're working towards. That's given us the comfort to push this forward. Otherwise, we'd have to wait for the report to come out, which comes out at the same time as the Secretary of State makes the decision. We've got to plough through it to see where we can push it forward. But now we've got this opinion, we've got that as our to use.
Okay, excellent. So your GoFundMe, what's the link for that? It's
called, if you type in on GoFundMe, save us from the mega embassy.
Save us from the mega embassy. Okay.
Yeah.
And I would recommend everybody go and check it out and maybe make a bit of a contribution if you're really worried about this thing.
And we intend now to. It's been quiet since we set it up. There's been lots of things going on in the background, but now that we've got our legal opinion, know where we're going with this, we're going to start to put more and more stuff on there, latest news, so you can see what's going on. We'll be in contact with people. Yeah. And then we'll send it out to all sorts of media to kind of push it forward.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much for the little tour today, Mark, and I wish you the best of luck in your battle against the CCP.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
When it's over and we win, you can come back and we can take you inside.
Yes.
And show you what we've saved the world from.
Exactly. We'll go and check it out. Thank you so much, Mark.
Okay.